The Joe Biden-led U.S. administration continues to pursue a deal to normalize ties between its close ally Israel and Middle East giant Saudi Arabia. In fact, it has made Arab-Israel reconciliation a top policy goal even if it comes at a cost, which in this case could be a U.S. security guarantee for the Saudis. This could include giving Saudi Arabia NATO-like security guarantees and helping the Gulf Kingdom kickstart a civilian nuclear program. While the U.S. is still mulling the idea and working out the details of the deal, Israel seems ecstatic about it. Israeli leaders also have made no secret of their aspiration for formal ties with Riyadh. Israel's President Isaac Herzog said in a speech to the U.S. Congress last month that the country prays for the moment to come.
Israel thanks the United States for working towards establishing peaceful relations between Israel and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, a leading nation in the region and in the Muslim world. We pray for this moment to come.
Last week, the Israeli Foreign Minister, Eli Cohen, wrote in the Wall Street Journal that a U.S. defense commitment to Riyadh could be the foundation upon which true regional harmony can be built, and cited the example of Washington's treaty with South Korea as a model for peace in the Middle East. It is public knowledge that the Korean peninsula is perpetually on the verge of war, and the presence of the U.S. in the region is only deepening the rivalry between South Korea and North Korea. A new formal security commitment, particularly against Iran, is one of the biggest Saudi demands as part of their steep price for normalizing relations with Israel, which soured over Palestine's occupation. But it might not be in the best interest of Washington. Critics argue that the U.S. does not need and cannot afford any additional security commitments, and it shouldn't be pledging to send its soldiers to fight on behalf of what President Biden called a pariah state. Washington is already embroiled in Saudi-led intervention in the Yemeni civil war. The U.S. has been providing military and weapons support to the Saudi-led coalition's war in Yemen, which Biden defined as offensive in February 2021. Analysts also argue that the idea of Saudi Arabia needing U.S. protection from Iran doesn't find merit. Iran and Saudi Arabia have rarely engaged in direct clashes. Unlike North Korea, Iran, which is also reeling under Western sanctions, does not have nuclear weapons to pose a grave threat to Saudi. Observers argue that a much deeper U.S.-Saudi security relationship could prove counterproductive for the region's peace. In an article for Responsible Statecraft, Daniel Larison writes, creating a stronger U.S.-Saudi security relationship in opposition to Iran would likely make regional tensions worse and might encourage hardliners in Iran to pursue more confrontational policies. Far from fostering true regional harmony, this would stoke conflict by expanding the U.S. role in the Persian Gulf. Larison even argues that a security commitment to the Saudis could end up paving the way for launching attacks on Iran, which shares tense ties with Israel and Saudi Arabia until the recent reconciliation brokered by China between Tehran and Riyadh. With the U.S. entertaining Saudi's idea of providing a security guarantee, observers fear that Israel could also join the bandwagon. According to a report by Axios, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is also hoping to get the U.S. to agree to a security agreement with Tel Aviv, which is focused on a possible nuclear threat from Iran. This could entangle the U.S. in a regional rivalry in perpetuity. Amid the hullabaloo over the Saudi-Israel normalization deal, the fundamental problems with any such deal may have been overlooked. Any deal with the Saudis would likely require something substantial for the Palestinians. Last year, Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman said the country views Israel as a potential ally, but he stressed that Israel should solve its problems with the Palestinians. Saudi Foreign Minister Faisal bin Farhan Al Saud said during a joint news conference with his U.S. counterpart Anthony Blinken in June that without finding a pathway to peace for the Palestinian people, Without addressing that challenge, any normalization will have limited benefits. However, the Israeli government's right-wing coalition, bent on annexation of the West Bank, includes figures such as Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich and National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir, who appear to be competing to see which can make the most radical and offensive remarks and policy proposals regarding the Palestinians. The notion that this government would give anything to the Palestinians is unimaginable as of now. And if Biden's Great Middle Eastern Gambit is all about containing China's influence, as pointed out by many observers, then it should focus on a deal that promotes diplomacy rather than militarization in the vital region. Such a deal might be mutually beneficial for all parties involved.